Hey y'all, it's me, Malik Tajari Bey from Approved Credit Solution. I'd like to show you what recent mailing I got from TransUnion, and this was another negative account that got removed. I'll just kind of cover my information there. I don't know, can you even see that? Yeah, it might show up backwards in the video, but you see right there, priority credit and a bunch of other inquiries. So this collector, priority credit, I was going back and forth with them in the bureau for, God, I don't know, almost a year now. They would, you know, do things like send an account statement, which I don't know how they got. Obviously, they just they got a photocopy of an alleged account statement with the original creditor, and they would send that back to my, you know, in response to my mailings. And you know, this is how I eventually got the debt removed, is by firstly recognizing that a photocopy of an account statement that they had gotten from an alleged creditor is not evidence that I have any obligation to pay priority credit. And priority credit is the one that is making claims against my credit report. They're the one actually causing me harm. Okay, so anybody else who is doing credit repair, or you have somebody else who's doing your credit repair for you and they can't get something like that off, they, you know, when you guys do like a dispute letter, they come back to say, yeah, it's verified here, this is why, you know, just take a closer look, because quite often I find it's bullshit, and you can just keep questioning them. So how I got it off eventually is by doing my own administrative process, as they would do to you, as any other company would do to you if you were in what they call default. So for example, if you don't pay your, I don't know, Sears or manufacturing lease payment on your stove, after a while they're going to send you a letter and say, hey, if you don't pay this amount of money within 30 days, we're going to come take your stove back, or we're going to, in this case, report against the credit bureau, charge you a debt or whatever. So after the 30 days, if you don't respond, what happens? Well, they send you another letter, right? And this time, usually with a shorter period for you to respond. So this time might be within 10 days, for example. And after that 10 days expired, usually there's a third letter that says either A, we're going to give you 3 more days to respond, or 1 day, whatever it is, something really short like that. Or they're going to say, excuse me, you're in default now. We've notified you several times, and we feel that if you don't respond the first few mailings, then you must not want to pay. So we're going to report against your credit bureau. That's what they do. So as somebody who's repairing one's own credit, you can do the same thing. You could do the same thing. You can mail them 3 or 4 mailings and say, hey, look, I would like you to show that I lawfully owe this debt to you. I'd like you to produce X, Y, Z. You know, give them a certain amount of time, and then follow up with, you know, another couple of mailings. Say, hey, same thing. I'm still looking for that information. Can you provide it for me so I can pay this debt? And if they don't respond after the 3rd mailing, you can actually take those mailings. I always recommend certified mail all the time, so that way you have a paper trail, right? So you take your certified mailing receipts and copies of those letters that you had sent to this debt collector, and then you forward that to the agencies. You forward it to TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, and at that point they should then remove it, because you've done your own investigation, and it turns out that they had no paperwork to validate the debt. So that's how I got this priority credit off. I mean, they were hounding me for a while. So yeah, I hope this is an example for other people, not to give up and not to take everything for face value when these alleged, when these debt sharks, I call them, when they come around and they say, yeah, you owe this debt because of this account statement that they got from God who knows where or how, right? And so don't take that as face value. You just got to keep questioning it, keep your records organized, and you know, if you have any other questions, feel free to email me, Malik Tajari Bey at Approved Credit Solution, no S, @gmail.com. Peace.